TikTok trend got me in a chokehold. We're talking narcissists and death. We're going to get into it. Let's get it. Welcome. First of all, welcome. This is Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, here to lead the conversation in important events and topics that are shaping today's society. Join the conversation and follow us wherever you get your audio podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for our video podcast, YouTube exclusive content, and our YouTube membership. Rate, review, like, comment, share. Share with your friends, share with your family, hell, even share with your enemies. On today's episode, it's the Sibling Happy Hour. I'm here with my sis, Jay Andrea. We're going to be dilly-dallying a little bit. Then we're going to be giving a tribute to Malcolm Jamal Warner. And then we're going to be talking about narcissists. But that's enough of the intro. Let's get to the show. What up, sis?
What up, brother?
I can't call it. I want to apologize to the audience for today's episode. Jay, do you want to tell them why?
I'm late.
Not just a little late.
A lot of late.
A lot of late. And we postponed it, which means I'm going to be up all night editing. But you know what? The show wouldn't be a success without my sister, so I can't be too mad at her. Besides,
no, you definitely can.
Yeah.
I have no excuse, so I'm sorry.
All right, yo, for real, I called our brother to calm me down. His ass ain't calm me down.
He's the worst person to call to calm down. He's the worst person to do for that. Yeah.
You know what? He had an interesting philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
He said, no, I'm going to work you up and then bring you down. It's what they do in like debt consolidation or something like that. They work you all the way up, they get you into a frenzy, and then they start to become calmer, and then you become calmer and you're willing to listen then. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Okay.
I've never heard that strategy, but
neither have I. It kind of worked.
I feel like he made that up. But
Well,
all right. What?
Our brother's an idiot, so I at the end of it, I was laughing. Idiot as in he's funny. And so at the end of it, I was laughing, so it brought me down.
He's actually incredibly smart. So
oh God,
he's
so
definitely
smart.
not an idiot.
I think he will say that he's not, but I believe he's the smartest out of all three of us.
Oh, hands down, it's not even
hold on. Smartest, not the most intelligent. There's a difference between smart and intelligence.
I would say he's the most intelligent then. Because, I would say he's the most intelligent.
I say he's the smartest.
He knows a lot about a lot.
That's what I mean. He's smart. So smart is knowing a bunch of things. Like people on Jeopardy are smart. That doesn't necessarily mean they're intelligent. Intelligence is thinking. It's putting things together and thinking. So it's the next step.
That's all he does.
Anyway,
yeah.
Let's get to this TikTok trend.
So just to be clear, intelligence refers to, this is Google, y'all, so take it with a grain of salt. Intelligence refers to an inherent cognitive ability.
Mm-hmm.
So you're born with your intelligence level.
Mm-hmm.
So it's your IQ, right?
Right.
Where smartness implies practical application of knowledge and quick-wittedness. So I think we're both right. He is inherently intelligent, but he is also very quick and knowledgeable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, our little brother has got the goods when it comes to the brains.
Yeah.
But
hands down.
This TikTok trend that's got me in a chokehold.
Yeah. What is this? Because I ain't been back on TikTok since the election.
Well, I not actually on TikTok. It's a TikTok trend that made its way to Instagram, as most things do. It's the You Know Now. Remember that song, You Know Now, with Trina and Trick Daddy?
Of course I do. It is literally the soundtrack to my adolescence.
So it is us, people in our age group, millennials, right, are playing that song for their now teenage kids.
Oh, that's not a good idea.
No. Why not?
Because that song is incredibly vulgar.
That's
The
the whole
explicit
point.
version?
Yeah, that's the whole point of the
Oh, that's
trend.
the point of the trend.
Yes,
Okay.
to show
Okay.
them what
That we grew up in the trenches
right,
and they have no idea
that they
what
have
we were
no
bopping
idea.
to.
So
Yeah.
I'm watching these reels, and the kids are absolutely appalled.
They're yeah, I
They
you
are
know what? I
appalled.
actually did see a video. I didn't know it was a trend. I just saw one video, a TikTok reel. And yeah, the a woman played it for her daughter, and her daughter was absolutely appalled by it. And we were just bopping at the school dance. So like it was nothing. And it is Trina's verse is the most vulgar thing. And still I love it. I can rap every line.
So I was talking to a friend of mine because I'm telling you, this trend has had me on the chokehold. All I've been
Yeah.
doing is searching more and more to seeing how these kids are just,
I bet it's
it's
hilarious.
hilarious because they're in high school, right? And
Yeah.
it's not like Cardi B, Meg, Glorilla, Sexy
Mhm.
Red aren't out here rapping kind of like that, but it's
Yeah.
just what Trina said.
It's Trina.
It was
It's
so, and
Trina's verse.
it's specifically Trina's verse. And then I was thinking to myself, that's a nasty verse, but that's not even half of how nasty some of these verses were. Because Little
Yeah.
Kim, Foxy Brown, and don't listen
Mhm.
to Adina Howard freak
Oh,
like me.
the explicit version?
The
Don't
explicit
do
version.
it. I mean, we were literally what is that soca song? Put it in your
Yeah, put it in your mouth. Yes.
yes. I couldn't even see the whole title because and we were bopping to that like there was no problem. And it was we had no business singing them lyrics.
Mm-mm.
None.
And so
No
what I
business.
discovered is it doesn't matter if you're a boomer, Gen Z, or even Gen Alpha, because some of these kids would be Gen Alpha because Gen Alpha started in 2010, which means they'd be about 14, 15 years old right now.
Mhm.
Um, every generation except for ours is appalled
Yeah.
at our music
Yeah.
from the late 90s
Yeah.
and early 2000s.
It really was like the Uncle Luke era. It was a lot of Florida rap.
Don't
I
get me
don't know
started
what
on
they
Two
was
Live Crew. Two Live Crew started it
yeah.
all for me.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, the song is just "Me So Horny." That's
It's the point.
it.
That's that's the tamed. That's the
That's the
tamed.
tame one.
That's not even
That's the
pop
one
that
we heard on the radio.
right. That's not even pop that P. And
Yeah.
this title of the song is tamed, Come On Baby. But the actual lyrics to Come On Baby by Two Live Crew, so disgusted. But
Yeah.
you got to remember at that time, how are kids disgusted at that music and not disgusted by the music now? I would say lyrically,
Mhm.
even though Meg, Cardi B, and Glow, they lyrically they're great.
Yeah.
In the 90s and 2000s, you painted a little bit more of a vivid picture.
Yes. Yeah, like, I mean, you have, like, the Cardi Meg track WAP, right? And everybody was just, like, clutching their pearls when WAP came out, but I'm like, "Y'all, 25 years ago, we were singing much worse,
Nothing's as
much,
bad as Freak
much
Like
worse."
Me. Adina Howard, Freak Like Me,
Yeah,
explicit version. But I'm
yeah,
telling you, this trend and got me in the chokehold, and it is so funny watching kids. And I don't know if the kids are appalled at the lyrics, the fact that their parents used to listen to that, because you have a version of your parents when
mm,
you're growing up, like
mhm,
you
mhm.
wasn't cool. No,
Yeah,
look, if you are cool as a kid, that coolness came from somewhere,
yeah,
and it came
you
from your parents.
listen, coolness is genetic,
Mm,
okay? No, I didn't see
mm.
I had never seen, like a lame family and like one cool kid, isn't it? No, it's everybody's a nerd. Everybody is as a jock, or everybody has like it's typically your family unit. Y'all, there's like a common thread. Like our family, we're funny, we're comedians. Like that's our family. Like so, everybody's got that common thread. I feel like coolness you can't learn how to be cool. I just don't think you can.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think you can learn how to perform coolness, but I feel like actual coolness where you don't have to tell people I'm cool, like when you don't have to do that, I feel like that's just something you're born with. It's a temperament, like intelligence. Like it's just there's a coolness quotient. And where you are on the spectrum is just where you are on the spectrum, and that's it.
I will say this. You said performative, and okay, people can be performative cool.
Mhm.
That doesn't necessarily mean that they cool. And I've
Right.
always said, this is my cardinal rule in life. If you have to tell people what you are, you ain't that.
You
Because
ain't it.
because you don't ever have to tell people because you just are.
Yeah, if you played a game, pick up basketball, and you got at the end tell people, "Hey, I can ball." You shouldn't have to. People should already know because they just watched you play. They just watched you play. So why you letting everybody know? Hey, I don't know about y'all, but I can ball. Are you sure?
Well, you know what's funny?
Nobody else is saying that.
If somebody saw me, I haven't picked up a basketball in years. If somebody saw me play right now, I'm horrible. I know I'm horrible because I
Oh
had
yeah,
no rhythm. But you know how
yeah,
sometimes you look at older people and you say they look old now, but I bet when they was younger they was fine.
yeah, yes,
Sometimes you can see somebody out there who hadn't played a sport for a long time and they can suck, but the mechanics of which they're playing, you're like, oh, they
yeah,
used to be
yeah,
somebody.
yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think coolness is the same way though.
Well,
I
okay.
feel like it's like intelligence. I feel like you can learn to be smart, right?
Yes.
But you can't your intelligence is what it is. And
Yes.
I feel like your coolness is what it is. You can learn to be more sociable, you can learn to be more extroverted, you can even learn to be funny.
Mhm.
But I don't know that aside from performing coolness, which everybody sees through, y'all stop doing that. Just be yourself. But like aside from performing it, I just don't you know, you just got to be born with it. I think
Hmm.
you got to be born with coolness.
Ooh, that's a good question. What determines coolness? Because I would say, I don't know that I'm necessarily cool.
I'm not.
Yeah, I don't think I know because I'm kind of corny, not kind of corny, extremely corny, extremely
Yeah.
silly. But I
Yeah.
do have a smoothness. I can be smooth
Mhm.
when I can. Let me rephrase that. I can be suave
Yeah.
when I want to be. But
Yeah.
then we had an uncle who is the epitome of cool.
It just came out of his pores. And I feel like he was like that his whole
He was.
life.
He probably
His
was. Yeah.
whole life. Because I feel like what's inherent in coolness is confidence.
Yeah.
It's confidence. It's
Mhm.
like a self-assuredness that you just have. You just have it. And also like authenticity, being yourself. That's the thing about an uncle. No matter what,
He was
he was
he was
himself.
himself.
And he did what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And he was the one of a kind. I feel like like there are certain things like I don't think you can teach confidence. I think you can gain it over time
Mhm.
through like experience and things like that. I don't know about authenticity. I don't know if you can.
I
I
I
think that's also like experience, you know?
I think authenticity, just like confidence, can be gained or improved upon. Just like when
Yeah.
we talked about it, I don't know, several shows back about empathy, right?
Yeah.
Like we're not born with this natural sense of empathy. It's kind of an experience that you have to
Yeah.
experience, and then you
Yeah.
develop this emotion. It's
Yeah.
very much like Inside Out, right? Or is it Inside Out?
Mhm.
Inside Out and Inside Out too. We only have a certain amount of
Mm.
emotions, and as we get older, we experience more and more emotions if you allow yourself to experience emotions.
Yes.
I had a
Yes.
conversation with somebody, I'm not gonna throw them under the bus, but I had a conversation with somebody 40 years old, 41 years old. Okay.
Mhm.
And I told them, I think you need to go to therapy.
Okay.
I think a lot of people need to go therapy. I think everybody should at least have a therapy session or two just to see if
Mm.
you need more
Yeah.
therapy.
Hey, mental health, just like physical health, you should keep up with it regularly. If you go and get your physical and you do all the things you need to do for your physical health, your mental health, you got to do the same things. Everybody, you should definitely check in with a licensed therapist.
That part.
And you just should.
So this person I was talking to, I said, yeah, I think you need therapy. Because they're going through some things. It's like, I think you need therapy.
Mhm.
And they're like, no way. I don't believe in therapy. I said, okay, that's real dumb. And I'm going to explain to you why.
Yeah.
I said, if you broke your leg, are you going to go to the doctor? Yeah, of course. Okay. So if you're willing to fix your physical body, you're not
Right.
willing to fix the inside, which is your
Because
emotions
yeah,
and your psyche.
that is that I honestly, your mental and psychological well-being is more a part of who you are than your physical body.
Yep.
Because you could still be you if that physical body don't work.
No, not me though.
I mean, but you could still think, you could still be you without that physical body.
Yeah, I'll be
but if
thinking, I
your
wish I had
mind
my
is
physical body.
well, yes, but if your mind is not right, your mind is you. Your
This is
mind
true.
is you.
This is true. What's
We
happening
do
to
not
Bruce Willis is the scariest thing in the world right now.
Yeah, we don't exist without our mind. That's why we have the term brain dead. Like
Mhm.
there is your whole body could still be functioning, but if you do not have your mind, you are no longer alive. So like that, the fact that people don't make that connection, right? They allow like stigma around mental health and all of these things to keep them from taking care of such an important part of themselves. Y'all, please talk to somebody.
And notice what
Just
my
check
sister
in.
said. A licensed
Yes. Yeah.
therapist.
Your homegirl, your homeboy, I get it. They're great listeners and you like their advice, but that don't mean that it's the right advice for you. It's just you like it. Yeah, I should crash out. No, you shouldn't crash out.
This
You
should never
should go to
crash out.
therapy.
Yeah. Yeah. And just remember, it's a terrible thing to lose your mind. We're smiling, but it's a sad week.
Yeah.
On Sunday, July 20th, 2025, Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away. We'll get into the specifics of it, but I remember you texting in the group chat,
Mhm.
Theo passed away. And that's what
Yeah.
everybody said, right? Theo
Yeah.
passed away.
Yeah.
And what was it? I think immediately I was like, well, the first thing I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then he was like, Malcolm Jamal Warner. And I was like, I know what you're talking about. It's just a surprise because he's only so much older than I am. And then I
Right.
saw that, he drowned. But
Yeah.
the next thing I said was, two more is coming.
Yeah, it comes in threes.
It comes in threes. And then it was Ozzy Osbourne.
Which, oh man, that's heartbreaking. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Yes, it is.
I
But
was a Black Sabbath fan. I mean, I guess I still am, but yeah.
I mean, I like Iron Man, but only because the Road Warriors used to come down to the ring in Iron Man. And speaking of wrestling,
Sure.
Hulk Hogan passed away. Now,
No one cares
look,
except MAGA.
I was the biggest Hulkamaniac as a little kid. You couldn't have told
me
me
too.
nothing.
Me too.
Hulkamaniac.
I saw all his movies.
Yeah.
You couldn't
I saw Suburban Commando, Mr. Nanny, all that stuff.
Mr. Nanny had me crying laughing.
But when he said the N-word,
Yep.
not once,
Hard.
not once, not twice, but 3 times, all because his
Hard.
daughter was dating a black man, and then said, Well, I would understand if he was 8 foot tall and was a millionaire basketball player or something. I said, you know what? I'm off Hulk Hogan. And I've been off Hulk
Yeah.
Hogan. And this was
Yeah.
before he went in front of MAGA and
Mhm.
performed at the Republican National Convention last
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about him.
No.
Ozzy Osbourne, rest in peace. You made Iron Man and you did a lot of stuff. You had a great television
Yeah.
show, reality show, and
Yeah.
all that good stuff. We're here to talk about Malcolm Jamal Warner. And notice, ladies and gentlemen, what do I keep saying? I keep telling you his name because I
Yes.
found so many people kept talking about Theo. And I get it. The
Yes.
Cosby Show was a phenomenon, but the Cosby
It's
Show was 8
it's his
years.
iconic role, and the fact that I could say Theo and not Theo Huxtable. I just said Theo,
Right.
and y'all knew what I was talking about. It's his iconic role. I get it. He's done much more than that, but
He's more of a
that will always have a special place in my heart.
Yeah, but he's more than just that Theo character. I'm not even talking about some of the
Yeah.
other work that he's done. That was 8 years of his life. That show ended
Yeah.
in 92. My man is 54 years old. What is 8 divided into 54? It is
I don't know.
six and some change. So it is
Yeah.
1/6 of his life, of his young life, not even his adult life, his young life. Okay. Unfortunately, he drowned while being on vacation in Costa Rica with his wife and his daughter. He and his daughter got caught in an undertow.
Yeah, that happened to me before. It's incredibly scary.
He and his daughter got caught in the undertow, and the daughter was 8 years old. They were able to rescue them, but he was
Mhm.
unresponsive. They tried for 45 minutes to use a CPR. He's pronounced dead on the scene. And I want to just take this time to just say, thankfully, his 8-year-old daughter made it. I'm sure
Yes.
he was fighting like hell in that current to save
Yeah.
his daughter.
Yeah.
Kind of took me back to Kobe Bryant. I know grabbed G
Gianna. Yeah.
and held her tight when they knew they were going down to just comfort
Yeah.
her. I'm sure Malcolm
Yeah.
Jamal Warner did whatever he could to save his daughter's life.
Yeah.
But I'm so scared for that little girl.
Yeah.
She was there when her daddy drowned.
Yeah.
And so young.
That's tough.
And that's going to be just so tough to deal with. And it just got me thinking that, hey, this man is more than Theo, and I want to do a tribute. And then also, as I started doing more and more research, because I found myself, as I'm calling everybody out
Mhm.
for calling him Theo, I found myself saying, well, what else do I know him from? I remember he was on Suits. That was a big deal
Malcolm
for
and
me.
Eddie.
But I never watched Malcolm and Eddie.
Oh,
And
hilarious.
and when
if you
I
get
did,
a chance to go back,
okay,
watch it.
so I did, but when I did, it was simply for Eddie Griffin, right? It wasn't for
Uh,
Malcolm Jamal
yeah.
Warner. The Cosby Show was not for Malcolm Jamal Warner. It was for Bill and Denise. Denise personally for me, because I was in love with her, still in love with her, and now in love with her daughter. I don't know what that says about me. But anyway, like he's always been playing second fiddle, but he's
Yeah.
always popped on the screen because I remember his role in Suits. And so as I'm doing the research, I was like, I want to pay tribute to the man and not the
Yeah.
guy that everybody knows as Theo, because the man is absolutely remarkable. He is more than just an actor. And I'm
Mhm.
going to get into it. But just when this happened, how did you feel? How did it hit you? Because now our childhood is starting to die.
Yeah. I think it's that just being faced with like our own mortality as the people that we loved as young people are passing away in our adulthood. It's like it's difficult. And then for it to be, and a tragic accident like this and so sudden, and he really was young. He's only 54. So that he had a very young daughter. Like it's I was extremely shocked and definitely heartbroken.
So I want to give this tribute to Malcolm Jamal Warner. I'm going to read through some stuff, some of his accolades, a little bit about his life, and then you guys will learn that he was much more than just Theo Huxtable. So, first thing, he was a Leo, born August 18th,
Whoop, whoop.
1970. He was named after Malcolm X and a jazz pianist, Ahmad Jamal.
Mhm.
He attended and graduated from the Professional Children's School in New York City. While still in high school, Warner was cast as Theo Huxtable, the only son of Cliff and Claire Huxtable on The Cosby Show, a role he played from 1984 at the age of 13 to 1992. His performance even earned him an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Supporting Actor in 1986. He was
Yeah.
15 years old when he was
15
nominated.
years old.
15 years old.
Yeah.
Of course, the Cosby Show was a cultural phenomenon, and Warner became one of the most recognizable Black teenagers and later young adults in America during that 8-season run. What else
Yeah.
did he do, though? Because he starred in more than that. Jay brought up he starred in Malcolm and Eddie from 1996 to 2000. He was in a BET series, Read Between the Lines, from 2011 to 2015, and played Dr. A.J. Austin on The Resident from 2018 to 2023. Now, I want y'all to look at the time periods. Cosby Show, fantastic show, right? One of the greatest shows ever done. 84 to 92, what is that? 8 years.
Yes.
Okay. Malcolm and Eddie, 96 to 2000, what is that?
4 years.
The Resident, 2018 to 2023, what is that?
Don't know.
5 years. Okay.
Okay.
So this man was working his butt off.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
outside of Theo Huxtable, the most important role to me was he played Julius Rowe on Suits during the season 6 season from 2016 to 2017. Rowe was a prison counselor at the Federal Correctional Institute in Danbury, Connecticut, and became a significant figure for the show's protagonist, Mike Ross, during Mike's incarceration for fraud. Now, if you guys are Suits fans, you know Mike going to prison was the big season. That was the big season, him going to prison, coming out of prison. The one that was giving him counseling, the one that was challenging this genius to think outside of himself, to challenge his mental health. Kind of like what we were talking about earlier, to challenge his mental health. The role they gave that man to was Malcolm Jamal Warner. And every scene that he was in on Suits, he stole the scene.
Yeah.
So what else? Well, the funny thing about his role in Suits was he had auditioned several times for several different parts for Suits, and they finally placed him in the perfect role, which, by the way, if you understand who Malcolm Jamal Warner is, then you would understand why he's really good at playing a counselor, kind of like how he was a counselor on The Cosby Show. He was working with the kids on The Cosby Show.
He was. Yes, you are absolutely right.
He was challenging. It's been a clip going around with Omar Epps when he was challenging Omar Epps. Omar Epps was a thug in the streets of Harlem, New York City, or Brooklyn, New York City. And
they lived in Brooklyn, yes.
Yeah, well, it might have been in Harlem because I think he was uptown. I think he was working with the kids uptown in Harlem.
Might have. Yeah.
And Omar Epps was like, "Hey man, take care of my little brother," because Theo had lost it. He was about to get beat up by some goons, and he had lost it. He also did voice acting. He voiced the producer on the Magic School Bus from 1994 to 1997. He also directed episodes of The Cosby Show, and he also did music. He was a musician and producer and won a Grammy Award as part of the jazz funk group Miles Long.
Yeah.
So he was an entertainer all the way around. He is more than Theo Huxtable. Jay, did you know about any of this stuff?
Did not.
And
I definitely didn't know about the music. I knew about his voice acting. He has got an amazing voice. And so, very soothing. Honestly, if Malcolm Jamal Warner was like, "Hey, can you want me to read you Green Eggs and Ham?" I say yes. And I would curl up and get comfortable and let him read it. because he just had that kind of very soothing voice. So I definitely knew he was a voice actor. But the music, I didn't know that. I didn't know he had a Grammy.
Right.
Emmy nomination and a Grammy. That's awesome.
He's also been an activist. He contributed to the public service programming, including the AIDS awareness video "Time Out: The Truth About HIV, AIDS, and You," which starred Magic Johnson and Arsenio Hall, earning him an NAACP Kia Life Image Award.
Wow.
So, for a lot of people, we don't think about HIV and AIDS like that anymore. There are going to be
Right.
some people that were born 2000 and they're
Mhm.
25 years old, and that's not in their concept. They know about it, it's a thing, but it's not
Yeah.
as big of a thing as it was in the late 80s, all throughout the 90s.
Yeah.
HIV was a big thing, and Magic
Yeah.
Johnson getting HIV was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Here he is doing activism work with Magic Johnson and Arsenio Hall, and he's got to be like 18 years old at this point.
Wow.
18 years old. So, he's more than just Theo Huxtable. He was a
Mhm.
poet. He told a story. His parents split when he was young. The age varies, but he was a young
Mhm.
child when his parents split.
Mhm.
He lived with his mom in LA until he got to high school. Then he moved in with his dad. But during the summers, he would go out to visit his dad in New York. And his
Okay.
dad would make him read Black literature during the summer
I feel like that makes so much sense for who Malcolm Jamal Warner was. So yeah, that makes so much sense.
and would make him write book reports. And he used to get pissed. He was like, this is summer. This is summer vacation. And I'm sitting here
Yeah.
doing schoolwork. And he was like, what his dad was doing was teaching him about his culture. And he was like,
Yeah.
because of that, I have a vision of what our people were,
Yeah.
are, and can continue to be. And so I've instilled that in my daughter, and anybody that I can talk to, I'm always willing to share that knowledge. And when you
Mhm.
hear all of this, you brought up the fact that his voice is just so soothing.
It is.
Is it because when a person has a soothing voice, is it because of the sound, or is it because of the way in which they speak?
It's the gravitas. He had a very poised, very graceful sort of affect. Like it was the gravitas that
Mm.
he had. It reminds me of like Chadwick Boseman. That
Mhm.
same kind of just presence and bearing. So it was a lot of that. I mean, yeah, he has got a great voice, but it's also just how he carried himself.
So when he passed on the day, I was like, oh man, that's really sad. And as I started thinking about it, it was, we're not that far off from age. Like
Mhm.
he is a Gen Xer and I'm a
Yes.
borderline, but like he would be like a big brother, right? He's not
Mhm.
that far off from what my age is. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, my childhood is starting to die. It's been slowly but surely starting to die. But some of them
Yeah.
were older. This is almost a peer. And it is a
Yeah.
freak accident, but it's almost a peer. And so I started getting even more sad.
Yeah.
Then as I did the research, I didn't become depressed. Depressed isn't the right word, but I became, I don't know what that emotion was. I became something. I was feeling some type of way because here
Yeah.
was a man that really should have been celebrated while he was alive. And here it is
Yeah.
another time, another example of we not giving people their flowers until they're dead. We have got to
Yeah.
stop doing that.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed.
And
Yeah. And I feel like there are still a lot of people, particularly Black entertainers, who have given us decades of work and have not gotten the flowers that they deserve. And he gave us a lifetime of work. Because one thing, Malcolm Jamal Warner was working.
Yeah, he was
Like,
working.
he was always working. He was on a show, he was doing movies, he was doing music. That's new to me.
Voiceovers.
The voiceovers, like, Malcolm was always working. You went over some of his television work, but he still had film work. So, like, he was always working. So he gave us a literally a lifetime. He started as a young, he was 13, you said?
Yes, he was 13 that first
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, he started at 13 and gave us a lifetime of work and should have received his flowers while he was here to smell them.
Yeah. And also, going back to him as Theo,
Mhm.
showed us in the larger sense. Obviously, people knew about it already, but in a larger sense, showed us about a condition called dyslexia
Yeah,
and learning
yeah,
disabilities.
yeah,
And you can have these learning disabilities, and with a little help, you can still get to college and
yeah,
be
and
successful. And
yeah,
it doesn't have to be a negative stigma attached to you. You can still
yeah.
become success. I thought that was a very valuable story. Also, don't ask your sister to give you no earring or make you a Gordon Gartrell.
No, because that shirt ain't gonna come out right. But the cool thing about Theo having dyslexia was that it showed that Black people can have learning disabilities. Like, whereas at the time, a lot of times in school, what are Black children? Their behavior problems,
Mhm.
right? Oh, he's not doing well because he can't keep up. No, the child has dyslexia, and no one was thinking outside of the box. They were looking at a Black child not paying attention or being disruptive, and he's a behavior problem. And so a lot of young Black kids were going undiagnosed for things like dyslexia, autism, ADHD, completely undiagnosed. They were instead being suspended. They were instead being punished because I don't know why they thought these things don't apply to Black children, but they do. And it really shined a light on it, and I think probably got a lot of people thinking about it, and really showing that no, we are also susceptible to these things, and you need to start treating us the way other people receive treatment.
Yeah. So, to you, Malcolm Jamal Warner, thank you. We love you. And damn, we're going to miss you.
Rest in power, brother.
Amen. Jay, I think this word gets thrown around maybe a little too much nowadays.
Yes.
But
Some people are just jerks. Narcissism is a diagnosable personality disorder.
yeah, just because somebody did you wrong, don't make them a narcissist. Don't
Yeah.
automatically, inherently make them a narcissist. Just because
Yeah.
they're a little self-absorbed or even a lot of self-absorbed does not make them a narcissist. Stop
Doesn't.
throwing that word around. It
Yeah.
it's a you got to be diagnosed, yeah,
Diagnosed.
as that. It's
Yes.
just thrown around. However, some people listening and watching this segment, this is going to hit home because I grabbed an article. This is from parade.com. Story is written by Beth Ann Meyer. It is 7 things a narcissist always does at the end of the relationship, according to psychologists.
Mhm.
So,
So there's a personality disorder.
right. So psychologists explain 7 common behaviors narcissists exhibit at the end of a relationship, highlighting their tendency to manipulate, control, and preserve their self-image even as the relationship dissolves. Narcissists often rewrite the breakup narrative to their advantage, blame their partner for their relationship's failure, and may seek revenge to hurt the other person. These behaviors stem from a need for control, admiration, and a lack of empathy, making an end of a relationship with a narcissist uniquely challenging and potentially damaging for other people. Now, I just read all that, and as I was in the middle of it, I said, damn it, am I a narcissist?
No.
Well, because I damn sure will rewrite the narrative on my breakups. I will blame it all on the partner, but I don't seek revenge.
Right.
Well, my
No,
revenge
there are the reason they could come up with 7 things because there is a pattern to the behavior. That's how you get diagnosed with it. It is a repeated pattern of behavior. If you had a breakup and you were like, "Man, that's all their fault," even though it was a little bit of you still inherently know it's a little bit your fault or a lot of it your fault. When you rewrite that, everybody rewrites narratives, right? We're the main character in our own lives, so everybody rewrites narratives or rewrites history. But it's the repeated pattern of behavior. That's where you can say this is a narcissist. Some people are just dicks, y'all. Like that's it.
Well, it's funny that you're focusing so much on rewriting narrative because that's number one. Narcissists will tell a version of the breakup that suits their image, often portraying themselves as blameless, and ensuring the breakup is on their terms. Now, once again, these are, like my sister said, these are 7 things. It's not just one. We have all done this. Ain't no breakup ever been my fault. I can tell you that right now. Yeah.
I mean, and 100% of mine have been my fault because I'm the one doing the breaking up. So well, that's obviously my fault.
I'm also the one doing the breaking up too. I've never been dumped. That is a bald-headed lie because I absolutely have. I tell you what I will also do is blame my partner. Narcissists attribute the relationship's failure entirely to their partner maintaining their ego and avoiding responsibility for any wrongdoing.
Yeah.
I don't really do that, ladies and gentlemen. I actually take responsibility and accountability. Y'all know, because I talked about that earlier this week about taking accountability and apologizing. But I'm sure you've been in a relationship or you've done this where you blame your partner. It is all their fault because you don't want to take accountability and responsibility of your own situation.
Yeah. Taking accountability is tough for anyone.
Yeah, like especially when you late to record the show.
And I apologize profusely.
You did. That's the reason why. That's the reason why I ain't cuss you out because you know me. You know when somebody gives me a sincere apology, I just be like, I'm just gonna let this go.
Yeah. Even though I say I don't have any excuse. I forgot. If that's on me, and I apologize.
Now the first 2. You may look at yourself, am I a narcissist? It's this third one I told you where it stopped for me. Now, if you do this, you might want to go seek therapy. And the third one is seeking revenge. If they feel wronged or their control is threatened, they may act vengefully, such as posting damaging content online, contacting mutual friends or employers, or even hacking accounts.
Yeah. And mind you, this is someone who just feels like their control is threatened. Not that you actually did anything to where they feel like they should seek revenge, right? No, it's just you no longer allow them the access to you that they need in order to feel like they're in control. And because of that, they act out vengefully. That's most people don't do that. Most people don't do that. So you don't have to worry. A lot of y'all out there, bro, you don't have to worry. You are not a narcissist. Here's how you know you're not a narcissist. If you look at yourself and your own behavior, and you say, "Am I a narcissist?" You're not, because narcissists don't know that they are narcissists. They will never have enough self-reflection
to ask themselves that question.
to ask themselves that question.
You said something, and I think it's in one of the behind the scenes. And I
Mhm.
did not realize that I do this, but since you pointed it out, I've been recognizing that I do this. You say you always got a story about everything. Wherever we're talking
Mhm.
about, you got a story about something that, and
Yep.
I don't know where
It
that.
doesn't matter what it is. You have a story.
And guess what? I got a story.
Yeah. Here we go. Go ahead.
I know I haven't told this story before, and only people from high school actually know this story. There was a young woman.
Mhm.
I went to a new high school the second semester of my junior year. I didn't really have any friends. There was one young lady who befriended me, and I would have lunch with her every day. My naive ass didn't realize that she had a crush on me. I just thought she was being my friend.
Yeah.
There was another young lady, one of several, by the way, because one, I was a new boy, plus I was good looking. But anyway, there was one young lady
Mhm.
who really, really had a crush on me. And word got to me like she was trying to kick it with me. I did not want to kick it with her. So
Mhm.
I'm at lunch with my friend that I normally have lunch with, and I'm telling her, yeah, I'm going to have to talk to her, but I hate talking to people because I don't like letting women down. I still don't like doing that. And so
Yeah.
back in the day, if I could avoid it at all costs, I would.
Yeah.
She said to me, my friend that I'm having lunch with said, "Oh, I'll tell her for you." I was like, "You will?"
Mm,
Yep.
mm-mm.
Yep. Yep. I was like, "You
Mm,
will?" She's like, "Yeah, of course. I'll do that favor for you." I was like, "Thank you." She goes up to this young lady and she proceeds to say, "I don't even know why you would think Bruce would be interested in you. You are ugly. You are not his type. You are not in his
no.
league. He doesn't have any feelings for you. You are barking up the wrong tree." But just goes off. I was not there when she said
Yeah.
these things
Yeah.
because she said she was going to handle it for me. That's my homie. Thank you. Because I'm too
Yeah.
chicken S to actually do it myself.
Yeah.
Well, this young lady decided to seek revenge. Mind you, we never dated, so this wasn't a breakup, but she decided to
Mm,
seek revenge. And she spread a
yeah.
rumor about me that I did not find out was spreading and was believed until the end of the school year when I was trying to holler at another young woman.
Mm,
And that rumor was, I went up to one of my crushes because I always got to have a few of them. This
mhm.
was my main crush.
Lord.
She was my main
Mhm.
crush. And I was like, "Hey, we should get together sometime, go to a movie or something like that." Because it's the 90s, you go to the movie or something like that.
You go to the
Or
movies.
Ruby
That's what you do.
Tuesdays, if you got a little bit of
Mhm.
bread, you go to TGI Fridays, but mostly Applebee's,
Boom.
Ruby Tuesday, get that too for $15.
Yeah.
She is like, "You mean as friends?" And I was like, "No, like a date." She looks me dead in my eye. "But aren't you gay?" This woman that I decided not to be cool with had spread a
Yeah.
rumor for the new boy in school that I
Yeah.
was gay and people were believing it. Mind you,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, this is 1996.
Yeah.
This is not today. This is
Yeah.
1996, a different
Yeah.
era, a different time.
Yeah. By the time I got to high school, we had a gay straight alliance.
Mm.
It was a club for students, and for LGBT students and allies. So, but before that, that was still new.
You know
That
what's
was
crazy?
very new.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know how crazy, you know how quick of a turn that was? When I graduated the following year, my sister came into high school. So
Yeah.
she was a freshman in high school when I was a freshman in college.
Yeah.
That's how quick that was. But before that time, well, I guess everybody was really accepting because everybody just accepted it as the
Yeah.
truth. And
And didn't even
I
they
didn't
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 make
have
fun of you or
no,
anything. They
well,
just like,
I mean,
oh,
yeah, I'm still me. So ain't nobody gonna try and make fun of me. I was still like 6'4",
true.
almost 190 pounds. So like ain't
Yeah.
too many people gonna
Oh, yeah.
say something to me.
True.
But yeah,
True.
that young lady seeks revenge. And I
Mhm.
wholeheartedly believe she's a narcissist.
Nope. No, she's not.
She exhibits behaviors as well.
No, you were just a chicken, and that was handled extremely poorly. And
Oh yeah.
she is also a teenage girl, so I could see her acting out in that way. So yeah, no, that was 100%. But at the same time, you were a teenage boy, so
A
We
teenage
can't.
boy that thought like a preteen, adolescent.
Yeah, yeah.
Just,
So it's what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? It's either these children in like mature situations handling it like children. So no, I don't think she was a
but I
narcissist.
missed
She
my
was just a
shot.
kid.
I missed my shot because she thought I was gay and I couldn't convince her that I wasn't, even though I was like,
Mm,
no, I want to take you out for a date. She could have been my future wife. And guess what?
mhm.
She's still fine today. She got like 6 kids. She looked the same, not the same. She looks a little bit more mature, but she looks great for her age.
Yeah,
I mean, she looks
yeah,
like she's like 20 years old, then had
yeah.
6 kids. And I'm like, I missed out. All because
Mhm.
this young woman spreading a rumor, seeking revenge. She was a narcissist.
No.
All right. Number 4 sign, erratic behavior. Narcissist actions can swing from affection to hostility using passive aggressive tactics to confuse and maintain influence over their partner.
Yeah.
Gaslighting.
Mhm.
And also, y'all gonna stop. That's another term I'm getting tired of being used all the
Y'all doing
time.
too much.
Doing too much, calling
You're
everybody
doing too
narcissist,
much.
saying everything is gaslighting.
E
Sometimes you just being
everything
called
isn't
out.
triggering you. Everything isn't gaslighting, and everybody is not a narcissist.
But these
These are
people,
real
yeah,
terms.
these people that we're talking about absolutely are. Like the young lady that
Yes.
that spread that rumor, and this person that will take their actions and swing from affection to hostility and using passive
Mhm.
aggressive tactics. That's true gaslighting. And
Yes.
once again, it's 7 things. It isn't one thing. One thing does not make you a narcissist. It's a combination of all of
Yes.
these things. Okay. So
Yes.
don't hit us up on a DM. My boyfriend was a narcissist because he would go back and forth and back and forth. No, your boyfriend was bipolar and he needed some help.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not a narcissist.
Or he just was passive aggressive. A lot of people are passive aggressive.
Oh, I
Eh,
used to be the king of passive aggressive, as you see from my previous story.
yes.
You know what else
But
narcissists
no,
do?
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. What you gonna say?
Oh, but like I was just saying, like I said earlier, it's like you said, it's the 7 things that they do. Not one, the 7 things they do. And again, it's a pattern of repeated behavior
Yep.
over a long period of time. So it's not just because one time you dated somebody and they played the victim.
Everybody
That
plays the fool at least once.
sometimes
That's a
it's
song,
no
ladies.
exception to the rule.
That's a song, ladies and gentlemen. All right, number 5 plays the victim. They often cast themselves as the wrong party to gain sympathy and support from others, sometimes recruiting third parties, a triangulation, to reinforce their story. You know what I'm talking about. They'll be like, call my boy. You see, he was getting on me. And you right, she always doing stuff all the time. You right, man. She
Mhm.
is always doing stuff all the time. And that person's not calling their boy out that their boy was cheating. That's the
Right.
reason why she hit you with the truck.
Because they know damn well their homie ain't right.
Something came up on Instagram the other day, and I think it was like women were calling men out because they were like, you know that your boy ain't right and you still be kicking with him. And the comedian, a
Mm.
man, was like, no, sometimes it's random. And we just one day are kicking it. And then they say some off the wall stuff. They say, hey, have you ever had peanut butter in your butt crack to watch football? And I'm like, what? No.
No,
Why would we
no.
do something like that? It makes the game better. You know what?
What? That's so real. And it was just a couple dudes talking. And one of the dudes, they were young guys, and one of the dudes, man, I took down a 70-year-old woman one time. And then everybody looked at him like he was crazy. And he said, see, I talk too much. That's my problem. And he walked away.
Yeah, men don't share. Men don't
Yeah.
look. My boys, my brothers that have known me for 30 years,
Yeah.
don't know the story of my divorce, and my divorce was like 12, 13 years ago. They don't even know the story. They don't know what happened. Men
Yeah.
don't talk. They don't
And they
talk.
don't ask questions.
And they, well,
So they know you got divorced. Have they asked?
okay, yes, people have asked what happened, but you know me,
Okay.
I don't like people in my business. If I feel like telling you, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Okay, don't
Okay.
ask me nothing. Okay,
Yeah.
hey Bruce, how things going? You know what? You'll never know because don't ask me. If I want to tell you how things going, I will volunteer that information. So I wasn't volunteering, and now I'm dug in. Now, even if they ask me right now, I still be like, hey, stop asking me. Okay. They're like,
Yeah.
man, it was like 27 years ago. You've been remarried. You got 3 kids. Don't ask me about past stuff unless I'm willing to tell you. But yeah, no. So playing the victim, we've all been in situations where people play the victim. Hell,
Yeah.
we have played the victim.
Yes. Yes.
That alone doesn't,
I need some sympathy.
because you're a Leo and everything revolves
Even
around
though
you.
I am dead ass wrong. I'm typically more self-aware than that.
All right.
Sometimes.
The final one, hovers or harasses. Even after the
Mhm.
relationship ends, they may continue to contact, harass, and try to taint their ex-partner's reputation, sometimes alternating with periods of silence or apparent indifference. These behaviors are driven by narcissists' need for control, admiration, and an inability to accept responsibility. An inability to accept responsibility, making the end of such relationships especially tumultuous. So,
Yeah.
look, those are the 7 things. If you was
We
in a
missed
situation,
one.
did we miss one? What did we miss?
Yeah, number 4, manipulates to regain control.
I thought I said that. I missed that one.
Now you jump to erratic behavior.
Did I? All right.
Yeah.
Well, oh, all right. Okay. So number 7. Narcissists will manipulate to regain control. Narcissists may use guilt, false promises, or emotional manipulation to try and keep their partner in a relationship or control the aftermath. Well, that was
Yeah.
the other one. Sorry, I did skip that one. You know why? Because you was late. You know I'm just
Never
messing with
live,
you.
never,
You
never
know,
live nothing down.
I'll probably never bring it up again. You know who I am. I'm a
Yes,
narcissist.
I do.
And so I
You are
had
not
to,
a
I know
narcissist.
I'm trying to just be funny at this point. I need you to lean into the joke. But ladies and
You
gentlemen,
are just a jerk.
I am absolutely that. And sometimes a bit of an asshole. Just a bit. Just a bit.
Time to time.
From time to
Just a bit.
time. But you know
Yeah.
what? It's all because I've had people do me wrong, like spread rumors about me that are untrue, that jeopardize who would have been the mother of my kids.
You never know.
Nah, I would have changed my
It
whole life
could
around.
just have been, oh,
No, I wouldn't have. I would have cheated on her too. I would have went to college, cheated. I would have been good in high school. That senior year would have been my year.
yes.
I wouldn't have missed
So,
prom.
yeah. But, there are strategies for people dealing with narcissists, especially at the end of a relationship. There are things that you can do to help yourself get distance,
Cut him.
which is really the most important thing, and to heal. So the first thing is obviously to go no contact. If you can't go no contact, because a lot of y'all have kids with a narcissist, so you can't go no contact. Gray rock method. That's where you just exhibit just no emotion. You are you give that Gen Z stare. A narcissist cannot stand. Well, there goes my light.
Yeah, getting a little too animate.
There it goes again. I banged on the table, and that was the problem. A narcissist cannot stand when they can't rile you up. Because the whole way that they get control is by manipulating your emotions. So if you give them nothing, they can't stand that. So if you do have to interact with a narcissist because you have to co-parent or what have you, just it's called the gray rock method. Just be devoid of emotion. You need to learn that the cycle that they get into. So there is a narcissist abuse cycle. It's 4 stages. They'll idealize you, which is love bombing. A lot of people know about that. Intense flattery. Then they'll devalue you. They'll like subtly start to criticize you, gaslight you, things like that. They'll discard you, and it'll be very cold, and it is just like a sudden abandonment. And then they hover. That's one of the ones that you brought up. They'll come back. They'll try to charm you. They'll just always be around, and you're like, why won't you leave me the hell alone? You got to learn that cycle so that you can break those bonds when you start to see it pop up. And then just seek support. Find people that you trust, therapy. There are survivor communities out there, and you can find people to support you, and then just watch for that hovering. Don't respond to that "a big head" text. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, that is them trying to reel you back in because they realize that they've lost control over you. They don't want you. They want to control you. They don't want anybody. They just want them. They want themselves, and they want control. So just recognize that it is, again, a pattern of behavior, and see those places where you can break those bonds.
I love that. And also cut them if you have to. Go ahead, cut them.
Yeah.
And
Oh, wait, are we talking about physically? Because like a switchblade, or you just mean cut them off?
well, we monetize, so I mean, cut them off. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. Wink, wink. Also, use Project Pat said it best. Don't
Mhm.
save them. They don't want to be saved.
Nah.
Just let them go.
Yeah.
Jay, you just gave them a lot. Do you want to
I
give
did.
them anything else before we get up out of here?
The most important thing that we have as human beings is our identity. And one of the things that a narcissist will do is try to rob you of your identity. They'll slowly separate you from your friends and your family, control what you do, what you wear, what you say, where you go. The most important thing we have is who we are. And so that is the hardest thing to build back up. But just remember that there are people out there that love you as you are, and there is strength in being yourself. And to tie it back into coolness, the most important part of being cool is authenticity, is being yourself and being true to yourself and not worrying about whatever the hell everybody else got. So protect who you are at all costs.
I love that. And for me, I'm going to say appreciate the good things while you have them, because they don't last forever. And I'm learning that more and more. And Malcolm Jamal Warner pointed that out this week with his untimely passing, because he should have been celebrated. So those people that you know out there that have talent or you love their work, celebrate them. Give them their flowers. When you're promoting them, or where you're posting a story or a reel from them, give them their flowers. Acknowledge it, because that stuff doesn't last forever, and it's gone, and it hurts like hell when it's gone. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for watching. And until next time, as always, I'll holla. Whew, that was a hell of a show. Thank you for rocking with us here on Unsolicited Perspectives with Bruce Anthony. Now, before you go, don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, comment, and share our podcast wherever you're listening or watching it to it. Pass it along to your friends. If you enjoy it, that means the people that you rock with will enjoy it also. So share the wealth, share the knowledge, share the noise. And for all those people that say, well, I don't have a YouTube. If you have a Gmail account, you have a YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can actually watch our video podcast and YouTube exclusive content. But the real party is on our Patreon page, After Hours Uncensored and Talking Straight-ish. After Hours Uncensored is another show with my sister. And once again, the key word there is uncensored. Those are exclusively on our Patreon page. Jump onto our website at unsolicitedperspectives.com for all things us. That's where you can get all of our audio, video, our blogs, and even buy our merch. And if you really feel generous and want to help us out, you can donate on our donations page. Donations go strictly to improving our software and hardware so we can keep giving you guys good content that you can clearly listen to and that you can clearly see. So any donation would be appreciative. Most importantly, I want to say thank you for listening and watching and supporting us. And I'll catch you next time. Audi 5000. Peace.